We are live. Hello, Kelly. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. And it's so nice to have you. I have my cup of tea ready to have just to sit back and let you work, Kelly. One wonderful numerologist. We had, we were on, I don't know, a month or so ago,
Yeah, a few
and
months ago. Yeah,
several people were so excited that you were coming back. So, and they've been asking. So, thank you for being here.
absolutely. That's really awesome that people were asking. I always am appreciative. I'm always like in awe. I'm like, okay, let's do it. Thank you so much.
Yes, and they were asking about classes and everything. And you have a new YouTube channel, right?
Yeah, I have a newer YouTube channel under my name, Kelly Brickel. And so I upload things from the Psychic Hours show that I do weekly and also some other videos. So I'm just starting to get into it. It's only been a couple months. Yeah,
Okay. Well, congratulations on that. Uh,
thank you.
yeah, and we have only about 13 people, but sometimes people it takes a while. And this is also a new time for me to be here. And I want to ask you guys in the chat. Hello, Jack. Hello, Alpha Numeric One. Hello, Linda and Lisa and Sharon. Are you guys hearing a feedback? I just want to make sure. If you are, then I'm going to mute when Kelly talks. And okay. Hi, Mary Ellen. Great to see you. And yeah, and see now from Numeric One. I don't. Can you see the chat? They're saying congratulations, Kelly.
Yeah, I just put it on. So alphanumeric 1, thank you so much. And Carol and Jay Hoppy, Sharon, Lisa, Linda, Jack, Craig. Yeah.
And
Mary
yes,
Ellen.
Linda. Yes, and yeah, and Mary Ann. Hello, you guys. Thank you. This is such a wonderful community, Kelly. So welcome to this community. Um,
Thank
and I
you.
know you are a. I remember because I've seen you before do lives and give little readings. And I know we're going to do that today. Oh, thank you, Jack, for saying that. She does not hear an echo. Thank you.
Awesome.
Okay, perfect. There is a difference in volume between you and Kelly. Am I high? Am I higher? Because I think this has happened last time with Yanti. I was much higher in
Who's
volume.
higher and who's lower?
I think I'm
Oh,
higher.
thank you. Thank you, Sharon. Wow. Yes, the generosity. She just posted my channel. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, she's a moderator extraordinaire,
Wow.
Sharon.
Gosh. Yeah. I mean, right on it, right?
Yes, I'm turning my volume down. I think it's going down. Does it sound?
Kelly's
Oh wait,
volume is
oh wait,
much higher
Kelly,
to
your
me.
volume is higher.
Okay, I'll put it down. Let me see if this does the trick.
I know. It's because I
All
remember.
right.
Okay, talk again and let's see. And how about
All
you
right.
guys on the volume? Seems equal. Okay.
Seems
All right.
equal. Okay.
You seem
All right.
about
Let
the.
me know if that doesn't sound great or if that sounds good. I'm open to the feedback.
Oh, I'm low.
Kelly
Okay, so now
fine,
I'm
but
going to go
Kim
up.
is
We're
low.
getting a lot of.
Okay.
Thank you guys for telling me because this is important because I can't tell.
It's
Um,
hard. It's really hard. Yeah, I've had to play around with it a lot, and still, I'm always like, okay, they're different equipment, and also I don't know if you've come across this, Kim, but so my microphone sometimes if I go into StreamYard, it's all set up. But if I go into Zoom, the
I know.
settings all change, and I don't know if you've come across that too.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yes. So tell us now. You guys will let us know again if my volume is still low. If it is, then I'll try to go up. Kim is low. Okay, so I'm going to go up a little bit now. How about Kelly? Would you mind just telling us a little bit about um, because if we start doing like a monthly thing or something, we can have one topic and then do readings if that's okay.
Yeah.
And then maybe you just tell us how can we use numerology?
Sure, absolutely. So everyone can use numerology. It's just a matter of if you're interested in it. Numerology is finding patterns through laws of numbers. And so understanding what the laws are, that's dependent on what type of numerology you use. And there's many types of numerology in the world. So the one that I use the most and the one that I've studied and learned about is Western numerology, Pythagorean numerology. So that's actually a more modern form of numerology. a lot of the different systems like Kabbalic numerology, Chinese numerology, other forms of Eastern numerology, Vedic numerology, they've been around for a really, really long time and they have their own rules. And those rules are so different sometimes that you can't mix and match. You have to just kind of go, all right, I'm going to choose this system. And you could actually use more than one systems, but don't mix them up while you're using them.
I see.
Um, yeah. So, for instance, like Western numerology, the way that they read cycles from year to year is different than Kabbalic numerology. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
And you just have to start looking into what system most excites you, what one most resonates with you. And the reason why I've chosen personally Western numerology is because just personally myself, I found the most accuracy when I was learning about it. Okay. And every system can be accurate. It's just a matter of, are you connected? And once you're connected, it's about using the rules to start to understand all the synchronicities around you. So we're made up of energy. And a lot of people believe that numbers are vibration. So numbers are energy too. And
mhm.
so people actually do believe that our body is, you could say, one big calculation or one big,
Yes.
cluster of numbers.
Yes.
And when we say words or we speak our language, we're basically saying, hi, I'm this vibration. Every letter is equal to a numeric value. So
Mhm.
every word, every letter could be broken down into a series of numbers or one number. And anytime you speak, or the identity that you carry in the world, which is your name, whether it was the one that you were given at birth or the one that you've chosen, you are speaking and your identity is showcasing, hi, I'm this type of energy. So you are this energy cluster, and then the energy around you is either harmonious or it's a challenge to you. And numerology helps systematically break that down, whether the address, right, of your house, is it in harmony or is it a challenge to your overall energy? You could even go into your phone number, right, your website, how it supports you, depending on what your life path is and what you use within your life. um, Numerology is looked at to see how it can further and most wholly support you as an individual. So it goes into not only business, but family, friendships, career. It's very, very multifaceted. And a lot of people, when they first get into numerology, it's learning the basic calculations of just the personality of a person. But from
Mhm.
there, it really extends, and it's really a support in life. Like, a lot of people use astrology to guide them. They go and look into their astrology chart and they have an astrologist really go into, you know, the depths of their life, or certain major areas. Numerology does exactly the same thing, but in a different way.
I see. Awesome. Beautiful. 'Cause I always look, because my mom was a numerologist.
Yes.
She could tell which car was gonna win a race. I
That's
remember
so
that.
cool.
I remember that. But, so I've known always to look at numbers from way back when. And hello, I see, Alejandra and, Sheila, and I know I'm missing some of you guys. I just wanna say hello to everybody again. This is Kelly, you guys.
Karen.
Yeah, Kelly, this is Kelly. She's a wonderful numerologist. And do you live in, where do you live, Kelly?
I lived in California. I guess I assumed you lived there too. That sounds like, oh, you're not from California when we were talking. I'm from California, but originally from Illinois.
Okay, okay. And there's Bronx Stage. Thank you, Bronx Stage. That was so sweet.
It's
Um,
very sweet.
yes. So, what about looking at, most people say I'm a number seven, right? Or whatever, they say this. And I'm assuming they're looking at their birth number, I mean, their birth date, right?
Yes.
Most people would assume that, but there's way more beyond that.
Absolutely, yes. So most people talk about the life path number, and in astrology, you kind of talk about the sun sign a lot, for instance, and that's I think, a great example of what that can be, because you'll ask somebody like, "Oh, are you a Leo? Are you a Taurus?" And someone will tell you what they are, but honestly, there's so much more to astrology than just someone's sun sign, but that's
Right.
what's most talked about, with numerology, the life path number as well.
Uh-huh. And do you
From a
find that
birth date.
astrology and numerology go together well?
I find that they go together well. You can't use it the same way, but you can use them together to complement and, make a reading richer, absolutely.
I see. Okay, right. And also, you know how when some astrologers, for instance, they just look at the chart and they intuitively know things. They don't have to go through all the, degrees and all that. Would it be similar to you also when you're giving somebody a reading, a numerology reading? Do you just also, so it's like a tarot card would be just like an opening of the door. Do you also blend in your intuition with the facts?
Absolutely, yeah. That's really how, I live by it, and really what numerology is, it's just a psychic modality. It's just a system where you're tuning into, patterns that are greater than yourself that connect you to truth, and really the highest truth, I believe, is a spirit, and sometimes you just transcend what's right before you and you're like, actually, I just got all this information, do you understand this? And someone will, as long as they understand it, you just keep going.
Right, you get that confirmation that you have connected with them on a soul level. At least that's
Absolutely.
how I feel. And then Lisa is saying here, her Gemini life. Let's just look at this one. She knows a lot. I'm sorry, I've got a dog chewing on a brand new bone. Okay, Gemini life path 5. That means a lot of change, of course. Now you can say more than I know that a little bit. Rising sign is Taurus. My moon is oh,
Oh,
rising and moon is Taurus.
midheaven is Capricorn. Oh, very cool. Okay. Let me just, all right.
Do you wanna look at
So,
oh, she already knows her life path, but do you wanna yeah.
sure, sure. Yeah, if you wanna pop down your birth date, that's always great. So the life path is, our lessons, our interests, what our career might be. It's very connected to that number 5. And so we might have a whole other part of our personality that, depending on what your numbers are, might be very 5 forward or might be very 5 muted. You could have other numbers that would mute your 5, for instance, or play up your 5. So it's always helpful to get more numbers if possible. But a life path 5, it's all about change and it's all about variety. So life path 5 people are noted to have multiple jobs and they get very bored in their careers if they just stay in one place. They need to have extra stimulation. And in order for them to be kind of this whole human being, they need a bunch of variety experiences, and then kind of they put things together and they kind of build off the next experience and the last experience. They're not just in one lane building, they're in multiple lanes building. And that's what makes them happiest. And that's how that they will actually function the best. They're very quick witted, very quick learners. So naturally, they're able to pick up. Let's say, if all of a sudden they had a major move, most people would be like, wow, I have the wind knocked out of my sails. I need a moment to ground. I need a moment to catch up, not a 5. They're like, great, this is perfect. What do we have today for the adventure? So I want to give that to you. If you ever feel like you're overthinking a move, it's actually really good for your energy to move and have variety. And then this is fun, but she actually talked about astrology too. And this is how kind of we compare charts. So, like she talked about the midheaven for Capricorn. Midheaven is like one of my favorite things to read for astrology. It really is. Your midheaven actually correlates with your career most times. And so it's how others see you. But you're usually using this energy in a way where you're very actively helping people, thus why it comes out with career the most. And so she's a Capricorn. So she's very business forward. She's very practical, whether it's ascending in a career or strategies for making money. That's a very natural part of who she is. So she's made to be like a leader or more so in a management position. She's very like to the point. She's very perceptive when it comes to getting things done. And so people will value that within business and career around her, thus making her better in those management roles. So this is just stuff off the cuff. I could just keep going, but there you go. Oh, I can't hear you. I can't hear you, Kim.
Thank you. Sorry about that. I was just trying to mute because I have a dog in the background. But
Oh,
we have Gina who doesn't know how to figure out her life path number. And I mean, I can do
yes. That's a
8
great
verse
question.
12. She's a
So
5. She's a 5 too, I think.
you just went away and I love it. You're Speedy Gonzalez over there. So what I like to break down for her too, so she knows what we're doing, is it's just adding across. So Gina, you're just taking 9 plus 0 plus 4 plus 1 plus 9 plus 6 plus 1, and then you're adding that to a full number, and then you take that number and reduce it, and there's your life path. So
Oh no, she's not a 5. Wait just a second. I think I added too fast.
she's
9
a
plus 3. She's a
She's a
3.
double 4, and then her life path is 8 plus she's I think a 3. Let me just double check. 7 plus 8. Yeah, she's a 3-4-4. But
Oh
her life
wow.
path is a 3.
Okay. Yeah.
Got it.
So do you
I
want to
just
tell her a little bit about that?
sure, absolutely. So Gina, so you're a life path 3, and we got that number from just adding everything across. The additional numbers we got from your birth date is your personal day number and your attitude number. So your attitude number is found by adding your month and your day together, and then your personal day number is just a 4. So it's as easy as that. So you have 2 4s because 9 plus 4 is 13, and then you get 1 plus 3, and that's a 4. And that's your attitude number. And the personal day is just a 4. Okay. So that's how we quickly got I want to give this to everyone. It's actually really cool and fun to find your numbers because it's actually really easy. It's just a matter of then what does it mean, right? And so let's go into what it means. And so your attitude 4, I'll start there. That means you're a very practical person in the way that you prefer planning, and planning equals success for you. So you're a more orderly individual. And what's great about 4s too is they're natural teachers. So even if it's not in a traditional sense of being a teacher, you always are learning something and you always kind of like are ready to share it. You'll just have a conversation with a person and you'll like tell them out a neat story with a fact or like a tidbit, and someone will go, wow, you know so much about it. And it's not always the case. It's just you love learning so much that you have all these connectors and tidbits, and people are actually kind of impressed what you can just say, off the top of your head. So 4 is the number of being the teacher and the student, always learning. Life path 3, whatever you do within your career and whatever you do over the course of your life, you have to be around people, whether it is sharing using your voice in an office environment where you're not alone, or some type of career where you are being very creative. So the life path 3 is the number for like musicians, comedians, actors, but everyone uses that energy in a different way. But you have to be using your voice to help others, and you have to be being an advocate for others. So sometimes, like in a more traditional setting, you might be the one that stands up and talks to your boss or manager and be like, hey, we need this. Or you might be the one speaking more so when the meetings are coming up, and you say exactly what's on other people's minds, and you help people through that.
Beautiful. Okay, we're getting a lot of people. I saw Craig way up there. And hey there, pure visionary psychic medium. And her name was Terry, and she's here. So, and she has a channel too. Thank you for putting your channel up. And thank you guys for being here again. Yay. I forgot to light a candle for us, but I might do that in just a sec. Did you see Lisa said your reading was spot on for her?
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much. No,
Yeah.
there's so many coming in.
Yeah.
I'll have to be more.
So Craig, I already added his numbers up. He's a 9.
Cool. All right. All right. Cool. Just
But I mean, I
getting
only did the
additional
life path.
numbers.
Sorry.
We got an attitude 8 for Craig, and then we got a personal day of 6. And we'll do some cycle numbers. That's fun too. A cycle of even a cycle of 5. Right. Cool. So
Okay.
yeah. So we
Cycle of 5
have
this year, right?
cycle correct this year. Yeah. So yeah, life path 9, personal day 6. So this is an individual that is quite creative, but at the same time he's very particular. So attitude 8s are very particular, they're very detail oriented. They are very connected to visuals, very connected to physical energy. So um, they're really natural with composition and color and artistry. Um, they just have like a good eye for going, oh, that looks good, or that needs that, or right. So very particular. And that can express itself through how they design their house, the clothes they wear, or the environments that they put themselves in. They really have a checklist of what they vibe with and what they don't vibe with. And so really use that and stick to your guns. 8 is the number of truth, so there's a reason why he does and doesn't like things. It's not just a feeling, there's actually a whole list of reasons. So very smart, perceptive person. And it's just a matter of how do you assert yourself, and how can you put yourself in a position where people are honoring and listening to you so you don't get frustrated. A lot of 8s should be in roles where they're overseeing and managing others, or that they're being entrepreneurial, because they have very specific specifications of what they consider to be the right thing, or what they consider to be efficient or of quality. 8 is all about quality, and you know, is it being done to a certain standard? So I really want to give that to him. If he's ever really frustrated with the people around him or where he's put himself in, um, find roles where you can exert your expertise, because it's inside of you and you shouldn't be limiting yourself. So there's that. Cycle 5 is great because it's all about change. It's all about mixing things up. And any project you want to start, you will have success, or you will have results very fast. Because this is a number where it's like, oh, you want to change? All right, the universe supports you. Let's go. And I could just keep going on, but that's some of the energy that comes forth for him for this year.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Kelly. And Sue, I'm just going to write this up here. Oops, I got to double click it. Is there a place where she just wants to know a book you recommend or something like that?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. So I always recommend Glenys McCants.
Mm,
I think she's wonderful. She does Western Pythagorean numerology too, as well. When I was first learning about numerology, I was reading a bunch of different like books and researching, whether it was experientially or just online. So I had a bunch of different resources, and I came across her books, and I was like, oh wow, like I'm really vibing with this lady. She does some of the things that I already do, and the things that I didn't know about that I tried that she taught me, they were very consistent and very accurate. And then she has so many resources. She has a YouTube page, she has, she does Facebook lives. She's very active, and that's the number one thing she does. So
okay.
yeah, love by the
Glennis McCann.
numbers.
Oh, love by
And
numbers. Oh,
Glennis has your number.
oh, okay.
Yep.
GLY. Okay,
Yep.
thank you. Beautiful.
Ynis.
Okay.
She's fantastic. She really is.
Okay. Now I'm going to just keep going here, Kelly. Hope we're not going too fast for you.
No, no,
Take a
no.
breath.
It's all good.
Okay.
Let me know if
Does
I'm going too slow too.
Okay. Does this have anything to do with seeing repetitive numbers? And maybe I can just start with that a little bit that I
Yes,
know,
please.
because
Please.
I mean, I believe that these what we generally think of about what a number means, at least the 1 through 9, the basic, like 5 is change or 9 is completion, then I usually take that into these repetitive numbers. Would you agree? When you see,
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. There is definitely overlapping themes. So a very popular form of repetitive numbers that have come up in the last 10 years are angel numbers.
yes,
And angel numbers are different than numerology master vibrations. They have overlapping themes though.
okay,
Um, yeah, so like angel numbers were created from inspiration from numerology.
okay.
And so, for instance, you might see 444 and someone might say, oh, like the energy is four is all around you. But in numerology, 444 is a master number of four, but it's also the vibration of three. So you'd look at the four and the three. Um, and when master vibrations come up in numerology, it's all about making sure that you pay attention because the calculation not only produced one, like, well, we'll use four as an example. It didn't produce just one four, it produced two and three fours. So it's saying, hey, pay attention. And a lot of times, the messages are about awareness. Like, what's
Mhm.
really going to grab you and make you start thinking about metaphysics and the universe and energy, not just a single four, probably five fours. If you see it more than once, that's going to start get your head scratching. So a lot of times the universe uses that as a way for us to start to pay attention. And then there's further messages from that.
Okay, awesome. Somebody emailed me the other day and they saw 4 threes in their dream. That would be, I never even thought about adding them all together. 3,
Yeah.
6, 9, 12. That's a 3 again.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Well,
It
that's
is.
5 threes.
And so within numerology, what I find, so if people are seeing things consistently, sometimes it is connected to a memory or a favorite number. Sometimes it is, but a lot of times it is connected to the energy of the number. Um, and when you have that three is inviting you to use your voice. It's inviting you to express yourself. It's inviting you to like really push past your boundaries and not so much think about yourself, but to get out there and help others.
Okay. Now we have Michelle, and I added her up to a 21-3. Is 21 a
21
master number? No, or is it just 22 is a master number?
master numbers would be anything repeating. So like, oh, 11 or 111, 22, 33, 44. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. So you can double
So
check me. I think she's a 3.
sure. I'm doing so she has an attitude 8. Excuse me, I'm all over the place. She's an attitude 3, and she is a personal day 7, and then she is 9. She is a life path 3, I believe. Yep, she's a life path 3. Did you get that?
Yes, I did. I know
Okay,
we get the
perfect.
attitude again is from the month and the day you were born, like the 5 plus 2 plus 5. That's the
Mhm.
attitude number. That means that's their attitude in life?
Basically, it's like a lot of times how their perspective is with dealing with situations and others, how their attitude is. Absolutely.
Okay. And then you say the personal day. How do you get the personal day again?
The personal day is just adding up the day you were born. So Michelle was born on the 25th, so it'd be 2 plus 5 equals 7.
So she's a 7. Now, what does that mean? I mean, how does that relate to your life?
Sure. So your personal day number, it's probably not the most it's not the most influential number. It's a very surface vibration,
Oh,
but it's the number that people feel off of you. So
oh,
you might not know anything about that person, but the first time you meet them or the first time you see them from across the room, you might go, "Oh, that person seems really quiet," or "That person seems really friendly," or "That person seems really serious," or "That person, wow, there's a glow about that person." That is connected very much to their numbers.
okay. Interesting. And then Michelle is a life path 3. Did we? I think we already talked about life path 3 today. I think.
Yeah, so life path 3 comes up within people in different ways depending what other numbers flank around their life path.
Oh,
Um, but it can go from, like, being very, like, the very almost, cliche, but awesome at the same time, actress, comedian, speaker, MC. You're using your voice. You're using your voice to
oh,
present to others. It's about listening and hearing. But it also can surface in, whatever role that you have. You're dealing with communications, whether in business or people around you. You're the one that makes sure that things get handled and received through your voice or through some type of medium where you are making sure things are understood.
okay. Awesome. Okay, now we have Gina here, and I did not add hers. Now tell me also, this is something, a trick I learned to shorten up your math. I just don't even add in the 9.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So anybody
It's
who's
true.
doing this at home, when you're born in 1963 or whatever, you don't need to add the 9 because it's going to be the same. It's just a duplicate math.
So there's like a longhand way and there's like a shorthand way, and the shorthand way is like if you are doing what Kim and I are doing and you need to go fast, you do the shorthand way. You do not add the 9 at all. If you want to do the longhand way, what you'll get is you'll get the full number. And if you're really wanting to build out a chart, you look at that full number, because if you take out the 9, you're going to add up your life path, and you wouldn't see maybe you were a 52-9. You just know a 52-7, excuse me. You just know that you're a life path 7. And sometimes those additional numbers can showcase someone's personality just a little bit. So that's
Okay.
what
Now
I give.
she said she's a 5. I don't mind getting this wrong. I got a 4 for her. Maybe I did
Let's
it
see.
wrong.
Let me see.
She's right. She's right. I forgot the
Okay.
1 in the 1960.
Yeah, so that's like the tricky thing too. So I'll see a 63 when I add it up to the side. I always put the 1 and the 9 because I've when I go fast and I forget about that 1 and that 9, sometimes I go, oh
Yeah.
no, wait, hold on a second. I
Yeah,
hear you,
yeah.
Kim. I really do.
There's a big difference between a 4 and a 5.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 4s and 5s they're like opposites. They're
Uh-huh.
really opposites with what they need and what they want. A 4 is very steady and practical, and a 5 is not practical and they need movement to just feel alive. So very
Yes,
opposite.
yes. Eh,
Okay. So she is, and please let me know if you want to jump in and talk about anything too,
well, I just know
Kim.
when Gina says she's a 5, and she's right, she's a 5, life number 5, life path 5, with
Absolutely.
an attitude of 2, 3, 4. With an attitude of 4. Well, that's interesting. An attitude of 4 and a life path 5. So we already talked about the 5s being all that, the change here. Um,
Absolutely. So when someone has, for instance, like 4s and 5s are almost opposites, and 2s and 5s are opposites too, in numerology. So if you have someone who has a
oh,
lot of complicated numbers, they're going to have just that, a more multifaceted, complicated personality. What you see is not necessarily what you get. Um, they need to have reckless abandon. They need to trap. So in Gina's case, she needs to travel. She needs to um, constantly be trying new things, but maybe she needs to have a plan before she does it, And the way that she does it, she likes to think about and learn about things. And then when she's ready, she just like springs off, and then she just like lets life meet her. So the way that she goes about it would be different than one might expect. Maybe she doesn't always like a surprise, right?
mm, uh-huh.
So she's going to have a more complicated, not one note personality. She is a personal day 3, so she has really good people energy. Like, people are very receptive to her. People come up to her, like she makes friends, or she has conversations with people very easy, and so that reinforces more that spontaneity. It really does, but it just lets me know that the way that she lives her life is quite orderly, and she does like routine to a certain degree. That's for darn sure. It's not just party and like let's see where life takes us. Um, and so if you were to get to know her, you would have to respect both parts of that.
Beautiful. Okay. Okay, you want to do another one?
Yeah, just keep them
Oh,
coming.
okay. So yeah, uh, thank you. Okay, here we go. Hypnosis says, what is her attitude? And I already add that up as a, oh my
The
gosh.
four.
Yeah,
The
4.
four.
Right. You're good. And I think I got her life path as a 2.
And
11.
then let's see, 4 plus, yep, that's right. You're good too. She is, um, a 2. And so it's kind of an interesting thing that most people who are a life path 2 are an 11 too. Some people aren't because they're a 22, right? And so that 20 just makes them a very intense 2. But most people have the master vibration if they are a 2. And so that 2 makes them very sensitive. That 2 actually makes them kind of wake up in the morning and always kind of think, uh, I need to be doing something more with my life. That master vibration of the 11 makes them feel that way. Anytime someone has a master vibration in their chart, it makes them feel like they should be doing more, and they have a little bit more of like a weight or responsibility on their shoulders. But if they didn't have that, they feel like something's wrong. So they live their lives not just for themselves. Either they want to help others or they want to further some type of mission, right? Like this could be better. This is the right way. Or I need to do this. People are suffering or people are going through this, and I'm aware of this on some level. So I have to be better. So it plays out sometimes extreme, it plays out sometimes muted. But what happens with that two that she has is, um, when someone has a life path of 2 that they're learning about their sensitivities. So naturally, they're going to be a very sensitive person, but they'll constantly be put in situations where that they're forced to recognize how sensitive they are. So they're more on average sensitive to sleep and food and change and environment and people. And
Oh.
most people aren't like that. They're not. They can handle more change, they can handle more variables without it rocking their core. And 2, the energy of that is all about balance, like 1 and 2, and getting that all lined up. So throughout
Mhm.
her life, she'll be put in situations where she's like, why don't I recover as fast as my friends, or why am I so sensitive to this and that? And it
Mhm.
just teaches you more about your body and what you're capable of picking up, and how actually your body's working overtime because it's so naturally empathetic, and other people's bodies aren't doing that. And that's why they're able to, I guess, recoup or not be affected by certain things you are. So that's a lifelong lesson with the 2.
Oh, wow. I noticed Bella
Yeah.
Star is also a 2 as I'm looking at her number here, Bella Star. She's
Bella
also life
Star.
path 2. So Bella Star, listen in.
Bells, yes. So anyone who has a 2, yeah, it's a lifelong lesson of how sensitive you are and how you can use those sensitivities as a superpower and not as a weakness or a detriment. Because being a 2, there is that gentle, soft quality. It's like you are a softer heart, or you're somebody that doesn't need very much to understand something, or doesn't need a whole lot to feel something. And other people will be like, what are you talking about? There's nothing wrong. You're so sensitive, or you were able to smell that, or you were able to pick that up from this. Are you sure? And it's just, you just need just a little bit, and you're like kind of a super receptor. And it's just a lifelong understanding of what your superpowers are with your sensitivity. Some people are
Mm.
just, like I said, very intuitive. Like 2 is actually the most psychic number in numerology.
Really? I thought 7
Mhm.
was.
7 is the number of spirituality. So
Oh.
they're incredibly psychic and perceptive too, but they don't deal with people as much. 2 is the number of like empathy. It's like the one-on-one number. It's the number of emotion. And so 7 is a more analytical and cerebral form of spirituality. So it's all about truth and unraveling, and it's a very God number. It's a very philosophical number. It's the number of enlightenment.
Mm,
So they both are 2s and 7s are actually some of the most sensitive numbers in numerology.
I see.
Um, it's just they deal with their sensitivities different.
Oh, interesting. And thank you, Gina, for the donation. That's very sweet of you, dear. Gina, and you did a little reading on her too. That's
Kim's
very sweet.
wonderful. Kim's wonderful. She deserves it. And thank you so much for being so generous.
I know,
I'll
my
say
goodness. And I want to say
that's just
Ron
my
is here.
opinion. I think you're
Okay.
great. So
Oh, thank you. And then Ron is here. Hi, Ron. He also has a channel, you guys. And thank you, Sharon, for putting that in there. Okay. And then Gina's also saying Glynis is amazing. So you have confirmation on that agreement with Glynis. Hi,
Glennis
Sue
is
Ellen. I'm just going to say hi
fantastic.
to a few people here that I know I didn't get to say hi to everybody. Um, and I like to say hi to everybody. Okay, let's see here. Okay, and then Jack is saying, I'm seeing 1111 a lot. I mean, I've seen those a lot too. I hear that a lot from a lot of people, by the way.
And so I just want to know, like, when I see any repeat numbers, especially usually it's the 111 category, that lets me know that something is coming my way and I better wake up almost in a way. It's like, wake up, rise and shine. Like, we need you alert, you need to do something or something's going to come your way. And so 1 is all about new beginnings. And so the doors opening. And so when I see like a lot of ones stacked together, I think about a series of doorways, a series of open energy. You could almost say like portals or something like that, right? The
Oh,
doors
nice.
open, something's coming, right? Either you're stepping out or somebody's coming to you. And so I just know that, there's a new beginning for me that I'm either expecting or not going to expect, but that 111 helps me perk up and get ready for it.
Oh, I love that. Awesome. And okay, so Mary Ellen is asking, speak to the number 6 destiny number. I'm assuming she means life path.
So I have to check in with her because destiny number is a calculation, but
Oh,
in
right.
certain forms of Western numerology, a destiny number means the consonants in your name, and in a other part of Western numerology, it actually means uh, the number that you get when you take your full birth name from your birth chart and you
Oh,
pair it with your life path number. So
oh,
it, let me talk about this for a second, actually. So in numerology, people have different words for calculations. For the most part, it's synonymous, I would say. But for like the destiny number, the way that I use it, I call it the personality number. But the first time I actually researched about what it was presented as the destiny number to me. So now I use the destiny number name for something else, and again, it's a different calculation. So I would have to ask her, or I could just tell her multiple answers for depending what it would mean to her.
oh, but okay, but would it so oh, I see what you're saying. But the 6 is not going to change. The number 6 won't change. It's just that
Numbers.
whether it's affected by your name or your other number.
So, for
One second.
instance, no. It's complicated. It really is. So, back in the day when I first started learning about Western numerology, the name was presented. Okay, this is the destiny number, and you would take someone's name, and then you take out all their consonants in their name, and then you'd get a number, and that might be
Oh,
6, right?
wow.
And then
Okay.
later on, I started working further with it, and more people were referring to that same calculation, just everything was the same except the name. And they're like, actually, we call this the personality number
Oh,
Bec- because it correlates actually with their personality. It does. And so a personality number 6 would be the same as a destiny number 6 if you thought about it like that. But there's another calculation and it's called the destiny number, and that's when you take someone's birth name from their birth certificate, and that is their destiny number. And so you take that, um, and you find that, and then also you pair that with maturity number, and you can find more information on somebody's life path. That's how you'd give them a more accurate reading on their life path.
Oh
So
my
do you see how
goodness,
it gives you multiple things?
that's too many things. I don't
It's
know
I
how
don't
to
know
keep
which
up.
kind of destiny number she's talking about.
Okay, well, maybe she just wants to know about the 6. And now, hello, Starfish.
Should I
Starfish.
answer Mary Ellen
Maybe,
really quick though?
yeah,
If
okay.
I can just give her a quick answer. So if you're a destiny number 6 in the form of the personality number, that means that around people you're considered like a more trustworthy person. You're an advocate of people, where you're a protector of people, you're very responsible, you're very hardworking. If you are a destiny 6, with the way that it pairs with your life chart, it just means whatever your life path is, you are going to be more concerned with social rights and, again, advocacy of people. Okay, that's it.
Mm, okay, awesome. Okay, yeah. Uh, so Terry here, pure visionary, says your knowledge is amazing. It is certainly. My birthday
Thank
is
you.
10/21/54. 10. So she's a 21. I'm a 21. So Terry, you
21.
and I both have a 21
We've been
attitude.
we've been having a lot of attitude 4s today. Isn't that
Oh,
funny, right? She's an attitude 4 and a personal
oh.
day 3. And I always find it funny whenever I'm doing like a live show format, I will always just there will be one number of the day where people just have that number.
Mhm.
It's just like the clusters of people just come to it's really fascinating. So we have another
Yes.
attitude 4, and then she is 1954, so she's a 1, and so she's a life path 5 actually. Is
Yeah, I
that
got that.
right?
I got that
Yeah.
too.
So look, yeah, one of the last people we did too was attitude 4, life path 5, and personal day 3. Do you
Oh
notice that?
my gosh.
Yeah,
That's
that's
amazing.
it's just these patterns come out. They're so fun. So it's funny because what I said to the last person can be applied to you, but the thing that makes it different is everyone has a different energy. So the way that I feel into pure visionary is going to be different than how I felt into the last reading. Same principles, but different energy. And of course, pure visionary would have an entirely different chart too as well.
I
So that's why. So pure visionary, like what I'm seeing is like within your life, things have to be very fun. Things have to be very entertaining. So if you're not smiling, if you're not making other people smile, it's like want, what's the point? So there always has to be this inspiration and like a feeling where you show up and you're like, this is what I'm doing, let's go. And you fuel other people within that too as well. With her attitude 4, she's very disciplined, and she has a lot of thought behind what she does. So she takes things actually quite seriously, even though she's a very fun and spontaneous person. And so maybe people wouldn't expect how much of a planner and a researcher and how much she takes it so seriously. But she's really good with people, really, really
She
good with
is. I
people.
know her. Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
cool,
I
cool.
know her, I mean, yeah. Everything you're saying, I can understand, but I know she would have to say that. But I think you're right on, Kelly.
Okay, cool. I'm glad yeah, it's always fun when someone knows they're like, "Oh, okay, cool. Tell me if that." But really like a cheerleader for the people,
Mhm.
and whatever she does, whether it's like an event or a gathering or like when she's bringing friends together, I feel like everything would have um some kind of consideration of color or consideration where things are just like a little bit more joyous and nice and right where people can get into like the
Yeah,
mood and the environment of like this is great, let's
you're
do this
right.
everybody.
Yes, you're right. Good. Yes. Okay, we're gonna look at Marby. We're gonna move on here because we only have about 10 more minutes. So, Marby's 10, 9. So I can almost do that in my mind. A 6 and a 7. Well, 7, 7 is 14. It's a 5. She's a 6.
Yeah, let's do it. So I was watching you go for a second, and then 9, and then 4, 4, 4, 5. Is she a 5? Is she
Oh,
a
is she,
5?
did I do it wrong again?
No, no worries, no worries. So she's like, so that 6 and 7 is a 4, and then you add the 1, and so that would be the 5. But then you'd add the 1. So you're right, it's a 6. Look at that.
Okay.
So usually I write it down, but since I'm following your voice, I'm like, can I do it with just the voice and thinking? But you're right. See, it's crazy. It's like if you're kind of just like doing it a different way, it's like the math can go all inside your head. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. So she's a
Yeah.
6.
Yes, she's a
Her
6.
life
Absolutely.
path 6.
She's
And
a
Mars
6.
is a 7. I'm a 7, also my life path. Well, we talked about that, Mars. We talked about life path 7 as being spiritual.
Yeah. So a life path 7, it's really interesting because it's a very sensitive number placement. And so they have the ability actually to be quite psychic, absolutely. So for an attitude 7, we'll go back to Marby in a second. Um, there is extreme interest in understanding the truth of things. So they can actually, from that, be very cynical or very spiritual. So the 7 has to have some type of awakening where they're just like, wow, there's there's more to this than I can even fathom. And I'm going to be humble in that. And that's going to further my interest in the divine. And so the people that haven't had that, I guess, experience where something so beautiful and divine makes them so humble, they'll go, let me try to figure out everything. Let me try to debunk everything. I'm on a quest for truth, and I want to debunk what you're up to because that can't possibly be real. And
Oh,
I
I
will help
see.
people by exposing the truth. Does that make sense?
Oh, okay. I can understand what you're saying. That isn't, yeah, I understand that. Thank you,
Yeah.
Hypnicity, for saying that. And that for the, she's also saying she's very sensitive. She was the number 2 that we did earlier. And she also made a little donation. Thank you. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Hypnicity. And I want to say hi to Skywalking with the Moon. This is Dr. Gail, who we went to Mount Shasta together. And she
Ooh,
also has a channel. She's amazing, you guys. Um, okay. Now, I'm sorry. Let's do Marby. You didn't.
Marby. Yeah, Marby. Okay, cool. So, yeah. So Marby is an attitude 1. Okay, attitude 1s are so fun because it doesn't matter what you tell them if they don't believe or have interests or, like what you have to say, they'll just go, "Okay, I'm just going to do this my way."
Okay.
Um they're very headstrong. Someone might find them stubborn. It's okay. It's actually fantastic because they they're immune to peer pressure. So it's fantastic. They go their own way. They're very to the beat of their own drum, and they're very content in themselves most times. I've actually come across some people like doing numerology readings, and they're an attitude 1 per se. And the only time I've seen an attitude 1 rocked, is if they're in some type of, let's say, really difficult time in their life, and they've reached kind of like rock bottom. They're like, I don't know how to do this. This is very stressful. I need help. My head's in a spin. And if you just kind of tell them, hey, don't you usually just like kind of just go with your gut and how you feel? And aren't you right? And they're like, well, yeah, that's usually how it works. But this one's really tough. I'm like, have you tried doing that? And they're like, well, not currently because I'm just so stressed out. But really, that's what helps them sail every single time
Mm,
because they have just this really good inner compass of just what's right, and it will work out if they follow it. So I really want to give that to Marby. She has a personal day 9. So the personal day energy of 9 is that you attract other people. People feel like you're an old soul. When they feel their energy, they're like, there's something about Marby. Maybe I should listen to her. So you actually have great numbers for cultivating people to take you more seriously. That's actually what a lot of people would like more in their lives. So not only do you have a leadership placement with your attitude number, but you also have a leadership placement with how people perceive you. And so we said that you were a life path 6 on top of it. And so 6 is all about um, bringing large groups of people together, or being a hard worker and helping a mission get achieved. So whether you want to lead the mission or whether you are making sure that others are taken care of, you have fantastic numbers for people to listen and consider you. And I just want to give you that as your superpower.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah,
Beautiful, Kelly. Thank you.
good
Beautiful
stuff. Thank
reading.
you.
Wonderful. You guys, isn't she wonderful? I mean,
Thank you.
you're what you are. You're wonderful. You put it all together for us. And Hypnicity says, "Are you reading my mail?"
Are you reading my no.
That's funny. And here, Prince Charming's mom says, "What if you're born on a master number 11?" And did we talk about that a little bit, or?
Yeah. So for Prince Charming, does she mean like the day on the 11th? Is that what she's referring to? If she is, what happens is that means that the personal day you are a 211. And so when people receive you, they will notice that you do have like a sensitivity, you have a kindness, that you wear your heart on your sleeve, maybe. It depends on how your other numbers are with how you actually are, but this is how other people feel you. So it might not have to do with your personality, but other people feel you as being more sensitive. And
Mhm.
so in some places, so I always talk about like, advantages with numbers. Like I talked about Marby, how she has a superpower with people, right? And how she can get people to like really get behind her. And when a 2 is presented as a personal day number, your superpower is that people actually are very open and people are very receptive to you because they feel very safe. On the
Mm.
flip side, what people feel too as well is since they feel safe and not threatened, sometimes they will try to push your boundaries. They're like, "Oh, this person's empathetic and sensitive, so if I just kinda do something, they'll let me do it." So right,
Oh,
there's all these different sides to the numbers. So I just wanna give that to you that people actually will feel that you're more likely to work with them. So that could be seen as a very good thing, and that could be seen as a thing where you have to just protect yourself because, people are willing to work with you, just in what capacity.
oh, wow. Okay, beautiful. And again, thank you, Gina, for the donation there. Um, I know we cannot get to all the numbers today or even all the questions, but um, it is informative, isn't it? And then Carol B saying she gets bored. Yeah, the fives about that. Let me see here if there's any other. Working on my intuition, hypnicity saying, I'm just going down the row here. You feel the energy in a room, says hypnicity. Hello, Lucy. Okay. Oh, thank you for saying that. Oh, yeah, I know. I know Dr. Gale's um, videos at Mount Shasta are awesome. Yeah. Okay. And Strawberry Rhubarb Churro is here. Hello.
Hello.
Um,
If I
yes.
may say, may I say something too? I just noticed. So we were talking about Prince Charming's mom, and then she just posted right now. She said, "Yes, 7-11." Those, and so I talked about boundaries, right? Well, she's an attitude 9, and that's all about learning about boundaries because that means
Oh,
even when she was a child at a young age, the way that she was raised was unconventional. So mom and dad either gave her way more freedom than normal, or mom and dad just weren't as present. So um, she has to learn boundaries with the way that she connects to people, shares with people, and interacts with people. Absolutely. So she has extreme sensitivities with others. Yes.
oh my gosh. Because my daughter was a 7-11 and a 9 life number. I'm just trying to put some of these in my mind, and it all makes sense. Just what you said for her too.
Isn't that amazing how the
Mhm.
numbers actually have these laws where it can apply to just anyone with a similar, isn't that just incredible? It blows my mind. It really does.
It is. Okay. And then, well, I know we're kind of at our time here, Kelly, and I would love to have you back, in about a month or so.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to say to close or to invite people to your channel or?
Sure. I mean, please, like, I'm under Kelly Brickel on social media, and I'm starting to build my channel too. I want to have Kim on. She's gonna do some color readings. I'm excited to watch her go. And then I have a podcast too, which Kim has been on, and I would love to have her back, called the Psychic Hour. And it's an interview show. And also we do readings on that occasionally too, as well, whether it's with others or it's just a reading show. So you can catch me under Kelly Brickel, or my website is energeticsessions.com. And I guess the last
Energeticsessions.com. Okay.
energeticsessions.com. And I'll just give them one little tidbit. So we're in the month of um, August, and so we're going into a world month number of 5. So it's going to be very busy. The whole year has really just flown by. It really has. But get ready for this month to go even faster, and don't be surprised if there's like a little bit more chaos in the news. It's going to be a very busy, kind of more unpredictable month. So there you go. Just watch out for that.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. Because what else can we not expect?
What else going on? Just when there's a lot of 5 energy, it's good for travel, but also just be more patient with the fact that you might find that maybe something is canceled that you have planned. You might find that something happens in a way where that you didn't expect, and just take a deep breath and know that the spontaneity is leading you to something. So don't people can get very emotional sometimes when there's a lot of 5 energy around, because they don't feel like they're in control. So just take deep breaths and know that you're going to get through it. And just know that next month we're going into that beautiful 6, and it's more about being a little bit more grounded, being tending to family, and it's a much more, I guess, people forward, more stable number. But this month will be a little bit, a little surprising in the news, I think.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Kelly. So much appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, Kim, and
Yeah.
thank you for everyone being here.
Thank you for everybody being here. And Starfish, I think I got you down as a 5. I'm not positive, but double check me.
Starfish, 5 legs.
Oh yeah, there you go. So thank you all again. Oh, well, there's so many more questions that we're gonna have to we're gonna ask these questions again for next time. And thank you all so much. All
Thank
right.
you.
Bye bye. Bye bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.